Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Leaky Lynn Pod. I'm Lynn, and if you're new here, thank you for joining me. This podcast exists because of one simple mission: awareness saves brains. Over the past several episodes, I've shared my journey working in surgery while unknowingly living with a cranial cerebral spinal fluid leak. The surgeries, the recovery, and how everything changed. Today, I want to step back from my timeline and talk about something much bigger: the true cost of being misdiagnosed. Most people think cost is medical bills, but after living 6 years without the right diagnosis, I could tell you the real cost is much greater. It's measured in lost time, lost health, lost opportunities, lost confidence, sometimes even lost hope. My goal isn't to place blame, it's to raise awareness so that the patients are heard sooner, providers recognize these conditions earlier, and fewer people have to walk the long road that I did. Let's talk about the true costs of being misdiagnosed, which is the physical cost. Every year, my symptoms changed. The headaches became more frequent. The dizziness became more severe, where I could barely even function. My balance became worse. I was falling all the time. I struggled with memory. I literally felt like Drew Barrymore from 51st Dates. Brain fog became part of my daily life. I had the hearing changes with the ear fullness, light sensitivity, neck pain, fatigue that sleep could not fix. My body was trying to function while something seriously was happening that no one had identified yet. When a condition goes untreated for years, your body works incredibly hard just to keep going. I wasn't living, I was surviving. Then there was the emotional cost. One of the hardest parts, it wasn't the pain. It was wondering if anyone had actually believed me. Appointment after appointment, I left without answers. Every normal test made me question myself a little more. Maybe they're right. Maybe this really is anxiety. Maybe I'm overreacting. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. Being misdiagnosed doesn't just make you sick, it makes you question your own reality. That emotional burden is something many people with invisible illness understand all too well. Then there is the professional cost. I loved working as a surgical technologist, helping patients in the operating room. It wasn't just my career, it was part of who I was. While I was helping surgeons care for others, I was unknowingly working with a brain that was leaking cerebral spinal fluid, literally leaking out of my ear. My memory wasn't the same. I was forgetting simple steps. My concentration wasn't the same. I struggled with things that once come naturally. I didn't understand why. No one did. Looking back now, I can clearly see how my neurological symptoms affected my work. Eventually, I lost my career that I absolutely loved. That loss wasn't just financial. It was personal. Then there was the financial cost. People often think about hospital bills, but the financial impact reaches much further. Specialist appointments, travel, imaging, lots of imaging, surgeries. It took 3 to repair my leak. Lost wages, lost insurance. When I lost my job, I also lost access to health care that evening, not the end of the month. So that's during one of the most important times in my recovery. I had to cancel upcoming appointments and scans. No patient should have to worry about how they're going to heal while also worrying about how they're going to survive financially. Then there is the hidden cost. There was another cost I never expected. Time. 6 years, 6 birthdays, 6 holidays, 6 years of memories affected by brain fog and loss of memory. 6 years of wondering why I was not myself. You never get that time back. That's why awareness matters, because every earlier diagnosis gives someone more time to truly live. The importance of self-advocacy, if there is one thing I hope every listener takes away from today's episode, it's this: never stop advocating for yourself. You know your body better than anyone. Doctors have incredible knowledge and expertise, but they only see a snapshot of your life. You live with your symptoms every single day. Follow your intuition. Advocating for yourself does not mean arguing with your healthcare providers. It means partnering with them. Ask questions. Read your imaging. I keep telling people, read your imaging reports. There are so many clues. Keep copies for your records. Track your symptoms. If something doesn't make sense, ask why. If treatment isn't helping, speak up. And if you're still not getting answers, it is okay to get a second opinion or even a third. I got a fourth after having 2 failed surgeries. That isn't being difficult. That's protecting your health. Looking back, advocating for yourself changed everything. If I had simply accepted that nothing was wrong, if I had stopped asking questions, if I had stopped searching, I may never have received the diagnosis that finally explained 6 years of neurological symptoms. Sometimes advocating for yourself can change your life. Sometimes it can save your life, and sometimes it can save your brain. If you're a healthcare provider listening today, I want to say thank you. Thank you for the work you do every day. I know medicine isn't easy. I also know that rare conditions can be difficult to recognize. But I ask one thing: please stay curious. When a patient continues coming back because something still isn't right, pause for a moment and listen. Ask another question. Consider another possibility. One physician willing to think differently changed my entire future. Never underestimate the power of listening to your patient. This is why I continue to share my story. People sometimes ask why I could continue talking about this. The answer is simple: because I don't want someone else to spend 6 years searching for answers. I don't want another patient to lose their career because of an illness wasn't recognized. I don't want another family wondering why their loved one has changed. I don't want another person believing it's all in their head when something very real is happening. If my story helps one patient feel less alone, if one provider recognizes symptoms sooner, and if one family member finally understands what their loved one is experiencing, then every podcast episode, every TikTok, every speaking engagement, every conversation has been worth it. Looking forward, although being misdiagnosed cost me so much, it also gave me a purpose that I never expected. Today, I'm building the Leaky Lynn Foundation. I'm speaking, I'm educating, I'm advocating, not because I wanted this journey, but because I believe no one should have to walk it alone. Awareness isn't just information. Awareness leads to earlier diagnoses. Earlier diagnoses lead to better outcomes, and better outcomes change lives. Thank you for joining me for another episode of the Leaky Lynn Pod. If today's episode meant something to you, I have one request. Share it. You never know who may be searching for answers today. And if you're someone who's still looking for a diagnosis, please don't give up. Keep asking questions, keep learning, keep advocating. Your symptoms matter. Your voice matters. Your story matters. And remember, one story can change a life. One diagnosis can save a brain. Awareness saves brains. I'm Lynn. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next episode.